Now, before I even get started with the topic of today's video, bro, I just want to say, like, I'm not necessarily here to try and gaslight you into not liking your life, all right? Because, you know, you be seeing, like, a lot of people on social media trying to, like, gaslight people into not liking their job, into not liking their day-to-day 9 to 5, like, and I'm not here to do that because I understand and know that there's people all over the world that actually genuinely like their job, that actually genuinely like their career, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Because listen, I've always been an advocate for doing what you genuinely want to do in your life. Like, this is something that I've always been talking about, and it's something that I've always been preaching. Like, you should do what you genuinely want to do, because if you're doing something that you genuinely don't want to do, you're just gonna feel like you're stuck. You just feel like you don't know what the hell you're doing in your life, and you're just gonna feel like, you know, suicidal and all these other things, because of the fact that you're not doing something that you genuinely want to do. So because there's people out there that genuinely love their job, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you see, you have people here on social media trying to say like, oh bro, fuck your job, fuck a 9 to 5. These are all of the cons for it, trying to ignore the fact that there's some positives and pros to working a day-to-day 9 to 5. But for me personally, bro, like, I don't know, bro, because I understand and know that there's gonna be some of y'all that are watching this video that are maybe twice my age, because I'm 16 right now, right? Like, there's gonna be some people that are watching this that, you know, pay their own bills, you know, that have their own house and their own utilities and stuff like that. But I'm just simply here to speak my mind, you know, because I know there's gonna be a lot of comments talking about, oh, you know, your perspective on this is so unrealistic, you need a 9 to 5. Like, bro, because there's people out there now working 9 to 5s and are thriving, you know, are successful, rich, and thriving. So I'm just here to share my thoughts, you know, and I'm not trying to, like, if you might think that my perspective might sound unrealistic, but hey, this is just me. I don't even think my perspective sounds unrealistic. I think it just sounds normal, because there's people out there doing what they want to do in their life, you know, making tons of money from it. But bro, I've been working like a little job for about a year now, and just, bro, like, I don't know, bro, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, I don't really know if this shit is for me for real, because, like, you know, like, there's just so many factors that it's just like, because, you know, ever since like maybe like 2020, you know, when I started to open up my mind and became more consciously aware of the things that were around me, you know, I always kind of knew that a 9 to 5 wasn't really my thing. But, you know, I wanted to figure out for myself. I wanted to gain the experience for myself so that I can gain my own conclusion on it, and actually come to my own conclusion thinking that, you know, whether if it's I want this or not for my life. It's just so many different factors that just, like, you know, that just kind of, like, how do I say this? Because they don't necessarily, like, frustrate me, but, like, I don't know, like, kind of disappoint me in a sense. Like, bro, like, for example, you have to file in vacations, which is not a bad thing, right? But, you know, not all the time. Like, let's say you're just like, you haven't taken a vacation in like 5 months or some shit like that, or in a year, you know, and you try and file in a vacation, and when you do, you get the vacation, your manager tells you that, you know, you're not allowed to go on vacation, even though you've been working your ass off for like about a year, and still no vacation, right? And there's just so many different things. Like, for example, when somebody calls out and you have to fill in for them right after you got off, and you're trying to relax, you're trying to relax and enjoy yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. It's just like, bro, that should be pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. When somebody calls out, when, like, for example, I'm gonna give you a great example of what I mean, right? So, like, let's say you got like a full schedule. I'm talking about, like, you know, maybe you're doing like 40 hours a week, right? Meaning like 8-hour shifts for 5 days a week. You know, you're working your ass off every single day, and maybe the 1 or 2 days that you actually have off, somebody decides to call out. And the reason why that's so frustrating is because, bro, those are maybe the only 1 or 2 days that you have off, but somebody decides to ruin it for you. Like, you're trying to have time to enjoy yourself, but somebody just completely ruins it for you. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's their fault, because they may be sick, who knows, right? But it's just like, damn, bro, like, I'm trying to enjoy myself, I'm trying to watch some anime, I'm trying to cook, I'm trying to do all these things, but I can't because somebody decided to call out when I had the time to be off. And I honestly kind of feel like I kind of reached my final straw of this shit like a long time ago, but I don't know, man. I'm just kind of still going along with it, because, you know, at least by the end of the summer, I'm trying to, you know, save up money for my business, because things that I need for my business are around like $5K, the supplies that I need, and save up for a car as well. But bro, this shit is like, Because I'm not saying, you know, everybody dislikes a 9 to 5. I'm not here to gaslight you into not liking your day-to-day life, your day-to-day job. Of course not. If you like it, that's beautiful, okay? But for me, bro, like I don't know if this shit is for me, man. Like, I truly don't know, you know. So I just have to wait. Like, I feel like the thing that has been set in my mindset, you know, and what I plan on doing for the future is just, bro, self-employment. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, this 9 to 5 shit, bro, like, I just truly don't know if it's for me. It may be for you, but I don't know if it's really for me. Bro, this is completely off topic, and it isn't even a part of the video, bro. But I don't care how holistic I get, no matter how, like, faithful I become, no matter how much I change my mindset and elevate myself, bro. But I would truly never be able to stand flies, bro. Like, I'm just out here making this video for y'all, bro. And, bro, these flies that keep on coming in and out are irritating as shit. I don't care how tapped in I become with nature, bro. Like, I will never be able to stand flies or mosquitoes, bro. They bugging for no reason, bro. Just unnatural little pesky little shits that are in the air trying to bug the shit out of you. Like, they have no benefit. But anyways, back to the video. And, bro, I'm not saying that I don't want to work a 9 to 5 because I'm lazy. Bro, the people I work with, because I work at a grocery store, will tell you I'm anything but lazy, all right? But it's just like, you know, working for somebody else is just like, because I remember when a customer told me this, like, I work at a grocery store, right? Like, he told me this, and I already been knowing this, but it's just so, like, it's so much better when there's somebody else out there that's able to strengthen your perspective on it. He told me, he's like, bro, hey, bro, don't ever try and contribute to somebody else's wealth, bro. Like, I've been knowing that, but it's just like, when you have somebody else to strengthen your opinion on this, bro, it just makes the goal and the vision just so much more clear and so much more powerful, bro. And not even that, bro, but I honestly feel like people are just, like, starting to become so desperate for money. Like, people, like, especially, like, well, not necessarily especially where I work at, but, you know, there's been conversations on getting a raise because people are just not being they're just not satisfied with the pay. And I guess I wouldn't truly understand because I live under a roof. So I'm not here to, like, necessarily judge anyone that's demanding a raise or whatever. But it's just like, bro, I feel like the more money that people earn, it's like they're never truly satisfied. Like, I know you got bills, you got your car insurance, you know, you got your mortgage to pay and shit like that. But it's just like, you know, it's like somebody once said, like, a wise old man once said, it's like, the poor will only get poorer and the rich will only get richer, and it's due to our mindsets on our jobs and also our finances and money as well. You know, there's been strikes going on all over, well, not all over America, but, you know, predominantly where I live, Colorado, you know, there's been strikes with grocery stores, specifically ones known as King Soopers, about people wanting to get a raise, you know, like maybe $2 or so more, you know, and just all these other things. But honestly, bro, it's just like, people are never truly satisfied, bro. And it just kind of bothers me how the more unsatisfied people are, the more desperate that they are for money. And I feel like this is starting to become a major problem and issue in today's society, because I feel like, you know, no matter how much people are going to get earned and no matter how much they get a raise on their jobs, like, it's like people will never truly be satisfied. Like, you know, niggas are out here literally having to work 2 to 3 jobs. It, like, how is that normal? You know, and I honestly feel like it's not even because of the fact that, you know, people are just, like, poor because of their mindsets, but it's also like a frequency thing. Like, you know, people are in a survival state of consciousness. This whole world, not even this whole world, but honestly, this whole world is in a hell state of consciousness, a hell state of frequency. And everybody is just, you know, in this frequency of trying to survive, you know. And I feel like this is actually the problem. Like, people are not even understanding that, you know, the difference between the poor and the rich is our mindsets. Like, because we have poor mindsets, which is why essentially our reality tells us and shows us through our perception and our lens that we are essentially living a poor life because of our mindset, our lack of an abundance mindset. It's funny because I've never met a single rich person that has been stressing about something financial related, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're always just like, it is what it is, bro. Like, they just buy whatever the hell that they want. Like, either they buy it or they don't. But, you know, the difference between us and the poor is, or the poor and the wealthy, is because of the fact that, you know, we're so desperate for money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the more desperate we are for it, the more it constantly, runs away from us, if that makes sense. Because you have to hear me out on this, bro. Like, I've never met a single rich person that has ever been desperate, for chasing more money, chasing more money, chasing more money. They're just satisfied with where they're at and they're grateful. Like, everybody is so desperate for money, like for raises, for, doing all these things just to get more money. But I feel like the thing that people are really not understanding is, the reason why they constantly are chasing money. Like, how do I say this, bro? Like, how do I say this? Like, what I'm essentially trying to say is, bro, like, the more desperate people are for money, it's like the more poor it shows that they are, if that makes sense. And bro, I'm not even trying to judge, but that's what it truly seems to like actually look like. Because like I said earlier, I've never met a wealthy individual that was so desperately trying to seek and chase money all the time, like 24/7, despite them actually having some money and being wealthy. I've never seen, or at least I haven't. You may have, but for me personally, I have yet to see that. And there's been times in my personal life where I've had to experience times with like naggy managers and naggy bosses, and I'm just like, bro, like, what I'm saying, like, do I seriously want to go through this for the rest of my life? Because by going through this for the rest of my life is having to work under somebody else's like foot for the rest of my life, like having them tell me what to do, having them tell me when to go to break, when to go to lunch, having them trying to like yell at me if I don't do something right, and even when I do it right, it's like they still are never truly satisfied. So the question is, like, is this something that I truly want to do for life, or is it something that I want to do for just the experience of it? You need to ask yourself that and actually find the answer to it. Like, for me, it's just something I want to do for the experience of it. I'm most definitely not doing this shit for the rest of my life because, bro, like, I would get way too stressed way too easily by doing this. And like I said before, again, I'm not trying to gaslight you into not liking your job and the place that you work at in your career. Like, I'm not here to do that. I'm just simply here to speak my mind, to share my thoughts on this experience that we know as the 9-to-5 experience. Like, I feel like there's a lot of cons and there's also a lot of pros. A lot of people just like to, for some reason, just primarily focus on the negatives and the cons of a 9-to-5, which is honestly pretty fucking dumb. Like, this is why people are out here on social media trying to gaslight others into not liking their life, because all they really do is just primarily focus on the the cons of a 9-to-5 job, ignoring the fact that there's obviously some pros into working a career, into working a 9-to-5 job that you genuinely love and enjoy to work. You know what I'm saying? But hey, these are just my thoughts. This is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'm gonna end the video off that and asking oneness, and I'm out.